Perfect. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Minister Tanya Furr's Multicultural Media Roundtable. We appreciate you all making the time today. As we get into today's topic of Alberta's 10-year strategy to end gender-based violence, I encourage you all to frame your questions around the topic. Given the time that we do have available, the Minister will field one question from each media outlet, and we will then open the door to additional questions at the end. When I invite you to ask your question, please remember to turn on your camera so the minister can see you and we can spotlight you next to the minister during the recording. I will now invite Minister Furr to make her opening remarks.
Well, thank you, Juliana, and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Gender-based violence impacts Albertans' lives every day, in every community, in often painful and invisible ways. It affects people physically, mentally, emotionally, and economically. It takes many forms, including domestic abuse, sexual assault, coercive control, financial abuse, and cyberstalking, and far too often it goes unreported. Survivors may feel afraid, ashamed, or face barriers that keep them from seeking help. This is sometimes especially true in Alberta's multicultural communities. Cultural expectations, fear of judgment, or simply not knowing where to turn can mean people are suffering in silence. Women and girls in multicultural communities face increased risks of experiencing gender-based violence due to factors that include language barriers, cultural isolation, financial dependence, and discrimination. Some newcomers may also be hesitant about interacting with the police, healthcare providers, or the justice system based on prior experiences lived in other countries, which can lead to underreporting. That is why our government is taking action through the launch of Alberta's 10-year strategy to end gender-based violence. Our strategy is the most comprehensive of its kind in all of Canada. It includes over 100 actions that address and prevent gender-based violence, responding directly to the critical challenges voiced by more than 500 survivors, advocates, and frontline workers that we have engaged with over the last year and a half. We have heard from Indigenous people, newcomers, refugees, faith-based groups, and survivors themselves. And one thing is very clear: people want action. They want support that is tailored to the unique needs of their communities, support that is culturally appropriate, safe, accessible, and delivered with empathy. We listened, and this strategy is built with those needs in mind. Our goal is that no one in Alberta should experience violence because of their gender. To get there, our plan focuses on 5 strategic priorities. First, it is critical that we raise awareness in a meaningful and impactful way so Albertans can recognize and respond if they see gender-based violence happen or experience it. Gender-based violence impacts all of us, so it will take all of us to end it. Raising awareness will empower members of multicultural communities across the province to recognize the signs and feel prepared to safely speak out against gender-based violence. Second, we are tackling the root causes of gender-based violence to intervene earlier and prevent violence before it begins. Our efforts focus on changing harmful behaviors before they escalate, expanding intervention and healthy relationship programs, and increasing safety for those at higher risk. Third, we are supporting Indigenous-led solutions by integrating Indigenous knowledge and healing processes and practices. We are taking a culturally informed approach, integrating Indigenous-led solutions and perspectives to honor the unique needs of Indigenous families and communities. Fourth, we are empowering women to be economically independent because we know one of the root causes of victims returning to unsafe situations is due to financial insecurity. We will work to ensure survivors are set up with the critical financial and social resources they need to live safely and build strong, independent lives. And fifth, we are strengthening support for survivors, families, and those at risk, including perpetrators and potential perpetrators, to receive the help they need when and where they need it. This approach aims for a future where services are easy to navigate, available where they are needed most, and meet the needs of everyone. This includes culturally informed help available in multiple languages to ensure that all Albertans from various cultural backgrounds are receiving the support they need. We understand that culture, language, and faith shape how violence is understood, reported, and addressed. And that is why your voices and leadership are essential. We are not here to speak for your communities. We are here to work with you to protect your communities and build solutions together. To help ensure everyone has access to information, we've created a fact sheet about the strategy available in 15 languages, which you can find under resources at alberta.ca/end gender-based violence. I encourage you all to help us spread the word through your platform to let Albertans know help is available, no one should struggle alone, and reaching out is a sign of strength. And our government will continue to work alongside you towards an Alberta where gender-based violence is a rarity, not a norm. Thank you. I will pass it back over to Juliana.
Thank you, Minister Furr. For the question section of this roundtable today, I'm going to go in order of registrations here. So you'll all get a time to come forward with your first question, and then we'll open the floor to any additional questions at the end. So I'm going to start with Sanil Pool from our community.
Good morning, Minister. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you, Sunny.
Thank you, ma'am. Minister, thank you very much for addressing the critical issue of gender-based violence. A few months ago, we held a panel discussion focused on this topic, and it became evident that more needs to be done to raise awareness and take action. Gender-based violence often manifests in psychological, financial, and sexual forms, as you mentioned, in the communities. Unfortunately, these incidents are frequently dismissed as private or family matters by both families and communities. These perceptions create a barrier to intervene as if people feel it is not their place to get involved or often help because they think it's a family matter, they should not be part of it. However, there is a very fine line between what is considered a family matter and what constitutes a abuse. Recognize this line is a crucial. What plans does your office have to raise awareness about identifying these boundaries? Additionally, how the grassroots communities, societies, or the groups be better supported to recognize, create awareness, and respond to a gender-based violence effectively. Their role is essential at every intervention, support, and advocacy.
Well, thank you, Sunny, for such an important question. During our engagement, we heard about the exact issue you raise and how important it is to make sure we communicate clearly what gender-based violence is and what to do if people see it or suspect it. And in some cases, even those experiencing it may not realize that it's a crime. We also recognize that lack of awareness can create a barrier to speaking out about gender-based violence and can, in turn, drive survivors to live in silence. So the first pillar of the strategy is all about increasing awareness and includes 17 related actions. Some of those include continuing to provide information to schools about preventing child abuse and gender-based violence, investing in research to learn more about awareness and attitudes about gender-based violence to help us inform future programming, helping organizations and individuals understand how they can disrupt violence in their own areas of influence, developing a province-wide public awareness campaign on what gender-based violence is, including emerging forms that targeting all Albertans, particularly men and boys, or developing training for bystanders to recognize gender-based violence and intervene safely. So we also recognize the need to continue to engage with trusted community leaders from our multicultural communities, such as yourselves, to promote that culturally sensitive conversations to reduce the stigma around the issue and to provide resources and information in multiple languages. So as I mentioned, as a first step, we've developed a fact sheet about the strategy, is available online in 15 languages. And we also made sure the public survey we did to inform the strategy was also available in multiple languages. So finally, I'll just add that our planned prevention efforts go beyond general awareness to really address those root causes of gender-based violence, including continuing to implement the anti-racism strategy and addressing racism and discrimination in Alberta. So thank you very much, Sunny, for that question.
Thank you, Minister. Tanya, I just have a quick question, just building on what you said, and Sam has asked the same question. I have question first is when you did mention the support programs or the information is available in 17 different languages. Is it a possibility to share that link, reason being what happened, or make it easier to find it? Because when you go to the Alberta website, you get lost in the different links and sublinks and you do not get that information. So is it that's the possibility. And then we as a nonprofit or different society groups, we are working in individual, say South Asian communities or Chinese community. Is there a program there to support our work? Like if we are doing a panel discussion or if we are setting up not the conference, but it's kind of a awareness whole day seminar where you have different booths. So is there any program which can be supported if we can come back to you, okay, this is our plan, that how we want to do it, if you can help or support?
Yeah, thank you, Sunny. So in my ministry, we've got, for example, the community initiatives program grants under my ministry, the CIP Community Initiatives Program. That's one of the grant programs we have that we encourage people to read about that program and see if they're eligible to apply. And Sunny, with respect to your question about links or potentially it being a little bit difficult to navigate, we can absolutely take that feedback into consideration and making sure that it's as streamlined as possible on our website.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mama. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone, for all your questions. And once again, thank you for your participation in today's Media Roundtable on Alberta's 10-year strategy to end gender-based violence. Your efforts as journalists are really important to us, like Minister mentioned, to keep the public informed. And we really value the collaboration and look forward to continuing our positive relationships going forward in the future. I just wanted to invite Minister Furr to share any closing remarks she may have at this time.
Thanks, Juliana. So just echoing what Juliana just said, we want to really thank you all for being a voice in this conversation and helping to share the importance of everyone working together to end gender-based violence. Our strategy is about people. It's about protecting lives and about building a province where everyone feels safe, regardless of their background, regardless of their gender, regardless of their story. So together, we're going to continue to work to make our province safer for everyone who calls our province home. And I, again, want to thank you all for taking the time to learn about the strategy, ask your questions. We're appreciative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Furr. And we will be sending a recording link of today's event shortly for everyone that's been in the call. If you do have any follow-up questions, as mentioned, or if you need additional information, please feel free to email me at juliana.rodriguez@gov.ab.ca. And for all those who are wanting to join us in a moment here, please remain and turn on your cameras, and we're going to take a group photo of all the media and the minister here together. So if you want to be a part of the picture, just make sure you do flip your camera on there and we'll get that shot.
Great. Hi, thank you, everyone. Turn on your camera. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. We'll take a nice group photo and I'll send it to everyone. Okay. Camera, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ben.
Have a good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you, everyone. Thank you again.